So we've just bought a property here in Fethiye in Turkey, and it needs completely renovating. So in this program, we're going to take you on our journey doing it up. So you might remember, if you've seen part 1 in the series, that me and Trudie made some decisions about what we were going to do to the new apartment we've just bought, which is next door, of course. So let's have a recap on the things that we were going to do and just see how we got on. We're actually taking out all this brickwork from the middle and putting one big window in with a skylight. So we plan to put a big double sliding door in here and knock out the wall onto the terrace. At this stage, I think they've just let them get on with it. And when you're doing a job like this, be aware that there's an awful lot of rubble, what they call mollos. So make sure it's included in the price, getting rid of it. Is that big enough for you?
Well, it was a postage stamp we had before, and now we got 2 postage stamps.
What have you got them? Gözleme?
Gözleme, some crisps and chocolate and tea bags and things, because you have to look after your builders.
Tamam. Tamam, kolay gelsin. So this space will eventually be the outside terrace. Kolay gelsin. Yavaş. Düşmeyin. I told you it gets worse before it gets better.
Isn't it great?
Uh-huh. All this will be cut out, obviously. These walls won't be here. And this will be a big open space. Yeah. And then here will be your sliding
yeah.
glass door.
Exciting.
And then this hole obviously is going to be filled up. So
can't wait. We need to decide what we're going to do if it rains.
Go next door. So these are the steel beams that we've put across. Solid steel beams, and they're pinned right into the concrete floor. So eventually this will come out, the whole staircase will come out, and we'll concrete this last bit as well, and that will be steel as well. But for the moment, we're going to just concrete this much so that we can get the sliding glass door in, which is going to look amazing. Obviously, if you don't have much knowledge of building and you don't have knowledge of the language either, you may need a translator, somebody that you can trust. And of course you could employ just a big construction company to come and do the job for you, but it will be more expensive. So getting a local builder is definitely more economical. And of course, if you need a translator, that's going to cost you something as well. So you have to put that into your budget. Obviously, there's got to be a small wall built there, and that will be plastered and topped with marble, like that. One thing I think I should mention is about the health and safety here. If you go on a big construction site, you'll see that the health and safety is the same as the UK or anywhere in Europe, in fact anywhere in the world. But it's a bit difficult to expect somebody who's a local builder that's been building all his life and he has his own ways, for you to try and tell him that you must wear glasses and you must wear ear defenders. So I sort of respect that People know what they want and how they want to work, so I leave them to it.
Tamiratla bir yerin derdim her tarafta.
O iyiydi zaten ya. Omurgalar. So this is the roof, and you can see what a mess it's in. So we're going to try and sort the roof out. To be honest, we could have done with replacing the whole roof, but unfortunately it's the roof of a whole block, so it's a bit difficult. So we're taking this window out because it leaks anyway, and we're actually going to cover it up. We don't need it inside. And of course you have to decide where your electrics are going to go, where your lights are going to be, where your sockets are going to be, before the servager comes. The servager is the plasterer or renderer. So as you can see, we've partly filled up the hole where the staircase is with all the steel work in it, and we've left this little bit just for the workers to carry on working. Otherwise, when we open up the wall here to go through to our apartment, they'll have to come up our staircase with all their building stuff. So we're going to fill this part in when most of the hard work or heavy work is done. So once we've got the sliding glass door in, we'll have the levels running away down into the drain, which is around the corner, and then of course it's going to be tiled, and Trudie's already been to look at some tiles. Where's that going to go?
I don't know, but I just like it.
You like it,
don't
you?
I'm gonna fit it somewhere.
They make so many tiles in Turkey that you're really spoiled for choice. Look at this shop, it's full. Thousands of different tiles.
We decided to go for these tiles, which are a nice colour, simple, fresh, and also the gap between the tiles is only 1 mil, but I actually like that.
That's really difficult to do, you know that?
I know, but you're not doing it.
That's very true.
And it turns, look, and you've got all these compartments, so they are. Shall we have you on it? Say hello.
What are you thinking?
I'm actually thinking this would work well with the tiles we've just bought.
Why?
Because you've got mirror, you've got storage, there's a light, and you've got undercupboard. I mean, I like those bowls, but I suppose this is more practical.
So we've ordered 30 of the light coloured tiles and 10 of the dark coloured tiles. And what's the total?
All the grouting, adhesive, and the Trudie's long dressing mirrors included of the cost.
A mirror?
Yes.
So you've ordered that mirror?
Yes, I thought I'd sneak that in while you were talking.
2,670 TL.
Which is about £830, I think. So I had a bit of a disaster yesterday. I was putting the screws in with raw plugs into the wall to hold the main piece of frame here, and unfortunately one of the screws went through the original water pipe which we're going to use, so we've had to dig it out, and I've had to put the wooden frame on the other side, so hopefully we can repair that now. My last screw, would you believe it? So that's the hidden water system in for the toilet, and this is the frame that is supplied, and these will hold the main toilet. And this is called a göme reservoir in Turkish, and obviously it will be covered up with one tile, and the press button flush will be here, and on the top will be a little shelf, and so yeah, it's all coming together. And I'm leaving all the sewage piping and the water piping connections to the water guy, the suger as he called, and because I can't get down to do it, that's why I'm getting old. So I've put some pieces ready, so pieces like that will go round the back of there and connect up to the main sewage system. So the white ceiling, plastic ceiling, wasn't attached properly, and underneath there was no insulation whatsoever. So we've taken it all off, and it's better to start with a clean sheet. We're going to insulate it all with some rock wool, board it over with plasterboard, and it'll also give me a chance to attach this nice and securely to the main wooden beam. That's the shower head. So yeah, always better to start with a clean sheet. Engin, yerleştirdin hepsini.
Evet, buraları yerleştirdik. Gömme rezervuarımızı koyduk.
Tamam.
Burası alçıpan olacak.
Evet. Şeyde kaçak yok değil mi?
Şu an kaçağımız yok. Arkadaşlar stop abimizi buraya koyduk.
Evet.
Mick abimiz öyle istedi. Özellikle istedi. Buralar bordex, alçıpan olacak, sıvanacak.
Tamam. Onlar biraz gevşek kaldın değil mi?
Evet, şimdi buralar 5 santim yalıtım olacağı için şu an dışarıdan koyduk.
Evet.
Böyle dışarıdan niye böyle diye sorarlarsa.
Çünkü strafor üstünü gelecek.
Evet, strafor, bordex.
Bordex falan.
Evet, hepsi olacağı için böyle dışarıdan gitti tesisatımız.
Evet. Bir de yukarıdaki boru.
Yukarıdaki borumuzda tepe duşumuz.
O düşüyor.
Mick abimiz kendi yapacağım ben dedi. Ben dedi seviyorum böyle dedi. Etkinlik yapmayı dedi. Biz de kırmadık tamam dedik.
Tamam ya. Teşekkür ediyorum.
Rica ederim.
Vallahi süper.
Güle güle oturun.
Tamam. Our water guy did a really good job, but there's one or two adjustments I want to make. And a few words about plumbing if you want to do some yourself is they use a wonderful system here where they have a hot iron, and you put the one fitting in one side and the other fitting in the other side, and it melts, and then you just shove them together. So all you got to do is get your iron hot, and then you push this on there and that in there. Make sure it's hot enough. Give them a good push. Make sure they're melted well. And then you take it out and join it together like so, making sure it's nice and square. And that's it. I've never had one of these leak, but great system. So putting the electric cables through. I hope we've decided on all the right places for the switches and lights. So in Turkey they put like plastic piping everywhere, and then they feed the electric cables through the pipes, which is a pretty good idea actually. As you can see, the marble guy's been, and he's done a pretty good job of the marble. Trudie's chosen the tiles, and the tile guy's been here to do them, what they call the fayansçı. He's not made a bad job, but there's one or two areas where I think we need to just pull them up and redo them. And of course he's got to do the top of these, and we're going to put a border all around the side as well. What I do like is these clips, which are great, which hold the tiles together, and then afterwards you just break them off. And with these long tiles, of course, it's a bit difficult to get the levels right, especially because here we've got one terrace. The old terrace is going one way down to the drain, and the new terrace is going the other way. So in the middle there's a peak, unfortunately, which is really difficult. But we managed to sort of solve that. How are you getting on, lovey?
Okay, I'm not sure about the colour.
I think it's lovely.
We'll see when it's finished.
Very green. Are you sitting down on the job as well?
Yeah, it's quite a handy chair to, you know,
Yeah.
sit down and relax.
Look at the view. So the window's come, the window frame, which looks pretty good. Ortasından takacaksın değil mi?
Evet.
İyi. Düzgün olsun. Terazili.
Terazi.
Super. Make sure he gets it square and upright with the suterazi. Suterazi is a spirit level.
Tamam. Okay.
Yavaş. Oldu mu? Which toilet are we going to have? Because There seems to be a large selection. I'm looking for the one that fits the easiest, so you can see the bolts. But I know some of them some have got a rim and some haven't. They're all different. I never thought it'd be so difficult to choose a toilet.
I certainly didn't.
I'm certainly not having a square one because I've got a square bum.
I'm leaving it down to you. The
Thank you.
toilet's your...
Thank you. So that's it. I've decided. We'll have this one. How much was it? 1,850 or something like that. Yeah. About £90. So we're thinking of insulating all the outside walls on the inside. In the UK, I've used plasterboard with polystyrene stuck to it that you just stick to the walls on the inside. But I couldn't find that in Turkey. Here in Turkey, you get the polystyrene, which is a real good quality one, doesn't break, and you get the plasterboard separate. Kolay gelsin.
Sağ ol.
Vallahi tek başına bu iş yapıyorsunuz ya.
Aynen.
Bu sıcakta. Çok zor. So this is my plasterboard, which is the green plasterboard, yeşil olan, which is water resistant. So it's great for showers and things like that. And when you think we've got to get these boards right up there. So I called a guy with a crane, or what they call a winch here. And guess what? He was here in 15 minutes. This is definitely the easy way to get things up on a roof. Azıcık bu tarafa. Tamam. Şimdi aşağıya. How's the back? Okay. Super. Super. And that's how you get 450 kilos of plasterboard on a roof.
How much was it?
I think we've agreed 1,200 lira, which is about 65 quid. Something like that.
Well, get your money out.
No, you get your money out. You're the one with the money. Şimdi nasıl götüreceksiniz oraya? İp mi bağlayacaksınız?
50.
50 mi? İp yok mu?
Var.
Well done. Super, yeah. Let's hope it fits. Wow. It fits.
Vay ne güzel. Çay iç. Bu original. What do you think?
I think it's lovely and it sounds lovely.
You like that, do you?
Yeah.
You're going to keep playing with it?
And every door must have to have one of these.
It's called a sineklik. Fly screen.
Yes.
I wonder how many times I'm going to bang my head on that. So we've got all the piping in now and it's all in its right place. So I've started doing the insulation on the walls, which is polystyrene, the polystyrene I bought at the DIY shop. And what I'm doing is gluing this and sticking it onto the wall and then putting just a couple of screws in to hold the pieces in place until the glue sets. And then when this is all done, and I'm going to insulate the roof as well, then we'll be able to board it all up. And in the next episode you should be able to see the boarding and the tiling being done as we've got the tiles now. Still a lot of work to be done. Unfortunately, we are going back to the UK for a few weeks to be with family. So when we get back, we'll start the rest of the work here. So in the next episode, hopefully we'll be knocking through the wall and joining the two apartments together. So if you want to see more of our renovation project,
Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. Thanks
thanks
for
for
watching.
watching.